Welcome in, everybody, to another KC Sports Report live stream. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, joined by my guy, Garrett Bailey, who also created that fantastic intro that you just saw. And in this live stream, we are going to do a full 7-round mock draft. And Garrett, the last time that we did this, it was great, but the information has changed. The Chiefs picked up another first-round draft pick by trading Trent McDuffie. The mock draft's going to get even better, but how are we doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great. Yeah, things have changed a lot since that last one that we did. It's like a completely different team now already. Just looking at the roster up and down, from the running back room to the cornerback room. I mean, it's a whole new ball game we're talking about for this draft. So I'm excited to go.
You know, we talked about Jeremiah Love in the last mock draft, and that's completely out of the question now that they've signed Kenneth Walker. But we watched Brian Cook take money elsewhere. We saw Jalen Watson get paid by the Rams, joining Trent McDuffie. They obviously traded him. And so right now you're stuck with Noah Williams and the corner the Chiefs just signed earlier today, who's primarily a slot guy, who's coming off of a injury from he didn't even play at all last year. So kind of an unknown. We're going to talk about maybe them taking a cornerback a little higher than we expected. But if you're ready, Garrett, we'll go ahead and get into the mock draft simulator, because I really think that this could be one of our better mock drafts because we have more picks to work with. So I'll go ahead. Do we want to use PFF as the select players list?
Yeah, I always like PFF stuff. I don't think Trevor Sycamore does a great job over there. I say we just go ahead and, definitely go for something like that. But yeah, that the Kohou signing was interesting that we had earlier today. He was actually pretty flashy his first year. He came out of, I think, East Texas A&M University. He played really well that first year. I think it was pretty impressive stuff from what I watched. He was undrafted, and I'll be excited to see what he does. But he's coming off of, I think, an ACL tear. He was out for the entire last year on. So definitely would be an interesting thing. And we still need plenty of cornerbacks because I don't know if everyone saw, but our whole defensive back room pretty much up and left. So that'd be a fun draft to do today. But yeah, let's go ahead and use PFF and see how it goes.
I don't know if you saw the Dave Merritt tweet, but for those of you that don't know, Dave Merritt is the defensive backs coach, and he posted a photo of him coaching Jalen Watson with the caption, "They grow and they go," because everybody that he develops ends up getting paid in free agency. And now it's going to be a challenge of who can he find in this draft and coach them up to be the future of this Chiefs defense. I do want to go ahead and acknowledge some of the people in the chat. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Sammy Joe. Here's the thing. We might draft offensive line. It might not be a pick 9, but with Jalen, before we get into this mock draft, Garrett, I want to get your thoughts. There has been a lot of smoke around the Chiefs taking a tackle. They were interested in the Giants' right tackle, I believe, in free agency. Do you think that they might shock us and go with the tackle in the first round?
Man, I always try not to disappoint myself with that because I feel like there's just so many good options there at 9. But I mean, it is the Chiefs, and it would make sense that right tackle position. I think we got like maybe Asa Polley or more there, but it's just like I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. I don't feel like we have some weird confidence issues going on with the tackles. I don't know what's going on with either of them. And like, obviously, we knew about all that time that Simmons missed last year. It was very odd. So it's kind of all up in the air right now. I feel like it's just a smokescreen, though. I feel like we're definitely going to go at least defensive, position players at that point or someone else. But it would never surprise me what Veach does. Veach is always full of surprise every draft I watch him.
Man, I don't know if I'd like them taking a tackle at 9. I can get behind 29, but that would be they better be sold that guy is going to be the right tackle for the rest of Patrick Mahomes' career. And I think that's what we're going to talk about in this stream as we do the mock draft. I'll go ahead and get it started. The Chiefs need to find a cornerstone of this team for the next. Wow, Ruben Bain went 3.
Yeah, and they went Caleb Downs too.
But you know who is available? Okay, first and foremost, that is a Hall, which
that would be a Hall.
We're going to reject.
Now, we're just rejecting these because we think that more than likely they'd be pretty unrealistic to happen. I think that like these draft simulators are great, but sometimes they can be a little bit unrealistic in some of the stuff that they do. Not to say surprising stuff doesn't happen in the draft every time, but just want to point that out. But yeah, we have our big guy, Carnell Tate there. That I made a video on him earlier today. I really like him a lot. He kind of suffers from Ohio State syndrome, where he's behind 2 or 3 other guys that are going to go to the NFL every year, which makes it hard to see him as a number one wide receiver at that point. But we've seen that with guys like, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. They both kind of were like number 2 or 3 to, JSN. And not to say JSN wasn't great too, because he is. I mean, same thing goes for Emeka Ibuka. He's behind Marvin Harrison, or Jeremiah Smith, who, Tate's been behind. So I think that would definitely be my target right here. I just don't think that Jordan Tyson's a good fit, especially with his injury history. If
the injuries scare me.
Yeah. So I think wide receiver might be the go here with all of Rashee Rice's stuff. I was talking to Michael before we did this too about maybe Delane. I mean, we did just lose a ton of cornerbacks. And that was a huge amount of losses. And Delane's man coverage was great at Virginia Tech. And then he went over to LSU and it just got even better last year. So I could see them doing something like that. I'm just trying to see, like, if I was looking for like pick 9 value right now, that's those corners. I would say Delane or McCoy or Tate would be like my go-to, but I would go with Tate overall right here just to get a number 1 wide receiver who isn't having off the field issues right now.
I think Tate has to be the pick here because maybe we'll differ in another mock draft. I think taking Mansour Delane at 9 is a little bit of an overshoot. I think he's probably a late teens, early 20s pick, and you could trade back and get him. Especially, I think the board's going to fall a little bit differently. I expect some of these other defensive players to fly off the market or fly off the draft board. So I think we're both in agreement. Carnell Tate's the pick there, and that's a pretty damn good. See, I don't think McCoy is going 10.
No, I could see him going late teens for sure. Man, Delane's making it really far down there though. That would surprise me a little bit. But yeah, no, I definitely think that Tate's the pick right there. When was the last time we had a great outside wide receiver that can separate? I can't remember it. I think Rashid did it a couple times, maybe a couple years ago, but I just don't see it that often. Okay.
Garrett, can I tell you something? I would absolutely love Caleb Banks. He's a freak. Like, athletically speaking, he is a freak of nature. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Chris Jones. But he's also, we just heard today that he broke his ankle in the combine. Or it was either combine or pro day. But I don't really know if he's the safest first-round pick. He's almost like a project.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I remember him down at Florida, and he made some great splash plays all the time. But I don't know. I'm just not as like if I saw him and McDonald both there, I would go McDonald every time at the defensive tackle spot. I just think that I have more trust, and I saw it from Caden McDonald at Ohio State. I like his size better, and I just like how he fits in the scheme overall. I think he's a better fit for this defense. And I think that would be my go-to over Banks for sure. I agree. I just think that Banks is just a bit of a project, and that's just like not what we need right now. We need guys that can win now. And I think that I was really happy with our defensive tackle pickup that we got from the Patriots. Remind me of his last name. I'm trying to think.
Khyiris Tonga.
Yes, Tonga. I thought it was Tinga, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, Tonga looks good. I think that makes me feel better about not going defensive tackle here in the first round, or at least not going with Banks. And I'd rather get like at least McDonald if we were to go with that. But I kind of just don't like either of those guys. I might be looking at like more of a Zion Young right here.
I'm all for Zion Young, but I think he might be available at 40. That's my only stipulation, but maybe not.
I mean, my only other theory with that too is like we could double up on edge here. I remember last draft that we did together, we were really talking about that, and I feel like edge might be the spot to go right here. I mean, we haven't got anything out of edge in free agency. We have a safety at least now, and we have a defensive tackle, and the edge spot's really the only spot that is like kind of struggling right now outside of corner. I feel like that might be, I don't know, my go-to. But what's your thoughts on that, Michael?
honestly, I think you kind of convinced me. I was kind of looking at Sadiq because this could be Kelce. Well, it's Kelce's last year. He's at 29. They could take him and then he'd get a season to play with Travis Kelce, but you just took Carnell Tate at 9. I'm of the belief that 2 of those first 3 picks have to be defense. I think you kind of convinced me. You cannot mess around and not get an edge rusher in the first. I'd be good with Zion Young, and I think we might be able to get McDonald at 40.
Yeah, sometimes those defensive tackles fall. It just all depends on like the scenario, but yeah, I think we'd be able to get Caden McDonald at 40. If not, I think there's a couple guys around that zone that I'll still like a lot.
So we for Zion Young?
Yeah, and I just think that, like we were talking about earlier, Banks is just, he's too much of a project. I can't get my mind around that, And not to say like PFF grades matter for everything, but I mean, I think he was one of the lower graded PFF defensive tackles. I think he's just getting, he's getting drafted off his talent for sure and size.
I was going to say, and now we run to the podium and we take not Proctor, we take McDonald. Because, I mean, is there anybody else that you would want to take here? Cooper is an interest, but you already got a wide receiver.
Yakis is pretty good there too. That edge out of Illinois. I really liked his tape a lot. I think he really tore it up last year at Illinois. I was very impressed with that. I wouldn't mind getting someone like him. Yeah, he had 12 sacks last year. He was doing great. I wouldn't mind just to double up like that. I don't know. I feel, for some reason, I feel a boat of confidence with Tonga being there that we could get another defensive tackle later if we waited. And just double up on. I just don't want to miss on the edge spot. I feel like this is kind of the one place we need to hit the most this year, and I think it might drive me crazy if we don't. And the Chiefs actually did have a meeting with Yakis just a couple weeks ago, so I think that would be.
You think so? That's the pick.
Yeah, I think you double up there, you go the double edge spot. I really liked his tape a lot. Good 6'3" size, maybe not as big as Spags always wants, but I think he'll do great for what we're wanting him to do at the next level.
And I think that they had to find some way to double up in the first couple rounds. They have to get out of this top 50 with a couple defensive players. And since you did sign a run-stuffing defensive tackle and you have Chris Jones, there isn't as much pressure to get pressure with a defensive tackle, especially because you drafted Omar Norman-Lott in the second round last year. So now you're throwing resources at edge rusher, and I think that's probably the correct. Oh, I'll tell you what, right now, and we'll look, I love Pons here in the third.
The only thing I don't like about Pons, there's one knock, but it's a huge one. His height. He's 5'9". He's like 173, which I mean, I'm like 186, and I look pretty damn skinny. So I'd be surprised. Like, I don't know. That's my only knock on him, because like as a player, he's looked great. I mean, if you watch the national championship game, he showed up. If you watch like a lot of their other big games, like whether it be the Big Ten championship or whatever else it was. Earlier this year for Indiana. I mean, he's obviously one of the big pieces of like why they won the national championship. But man, that 5'9", 5'10" height is just really hard to survive and like as an NFL corner. I mean, I know McDuffie was like a little bit smaller, but I think he was still like around like 5'11" range, or 5'10".
Well, that was
he was like 5'11".
That's why he fell.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's like another like 2 inches of height you lose. I mean, I could see even fade routes becoming a problem, and I just don't know. Who else do we have at corner there right now?
We'll go ahead and look.
But I say, because I could definitely see this being a big spot for like where we're kind of like looking at cornerbacks and stuff. Rivers, I really like him a lot.
I'll just Duke. Filter. Let's see. We'll go defense. Ooh, I wouldn't hate looking for a safety either. I don't know if there are any. So Pons, Rivers, Everett, Moore. Will Lee's interesting, but not in the third.
I mean, I feel like I wouldn't mind taking a shot at like a Chandler Rivers right here. His man coverage is great. He had a better, 2024 season than he did at 2025. But I like him a lot. I think that would be a great pick right here. I think he's about 6 foot. He's about 5'10" too. So he's a shorter corner as well. But I think he's more of that like he's a traditional like McDuffie kind of corner a little bit. He's played more outside. Actually, it looks like he's played like a mix between outside and slot. I think I'd like a Chandler Rivers right here. I think I'd like that a lot. I just don't think
5'9", 182.
Yeah,
5'9", 170.
I
don't know which one.
I had 5'9", like 173. So you must be like trying to gain weight or something. But man, dude, it's just that's the toughest part about this is like where you have to be like, can that size translate to the next level? You know, like if D'Angelo Pons has to press DK Metcalf, which I doubt they would have him do, but I mean, could he do it? I just struggle to see that. You know,
what are your
Dalen
thoughts
Everett
on Dalen Everett?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He was a good man coverage guy down at Georgia. Actually, no, I think he was better at zone coverage.
Well, that would actually be better for the Chiefs defense.
Yeah, I mean,
that would actually be better.
We do like a lot of like mix between man and zone. I feel like we do more man though, is my only thing. I don't know. I just loved our man coverage those years whenever you had Snead and McDuffie. I think I'd rather go.
Pick?
I think we have like a little bit.
109. That's
yeah.
If we're going right now, okay, before we pick, I'm going to go ahead and look at the safeties because is there a safety that you're looking at, right? None of these value.
Yeah, Bud Clark's pretty good, but I just feel like that would be like a later thing. I think a lot of those guys would be right now. I feel like I love Chandler Rivers' 2024 tape so much that I just want to take a shot on him. He looked great last year too, just not as good. He took a little bit of a step back. I just like him. Like, I think that he could be like a somewhat of a McDuffie comp. He's a little older. He's coming in at like around 23, but I think that would be my go-to guy right here for sure.
We'll go Rivers here. I bet Pons goes in the next couple of picks. Yeah, he goes to the. That's gonna be interesting if he does go to the Patriots.
Man, it just freaks me out though, man. I know like sometimes size doesn't matter for every player, but man, dude, some of that other stuff is just crazy. So
it's interesting though because we did like Rivers height wise is fairly similar to Pons. So it's just really it's what does the tape say? And if you think Rivers tape it maybe outlasts Pons tape, then I think that's a little different.
I think that Rivers showed up better, more consistently for multiple years, and that would just definitely be my pick for sure. Not to say that.
What do you think about Emmett Johnson? Emmett Johnson. I know you're an Emmett Johnson guy.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a running back. But I think they're going to draft a running back.
And there's that Dame Tucker too, who I really like a lot. I don't know how many edge rushes we can get in this draft, but man, he played great. He played like a man possessed last year for Western Michigan. It was really impressive stuff to watch. Watching all his tape back and stuff. I mean, it was like every single play he was in on it. I know the Chiefs, I want to say that they did meet with both Penn State running backs and Emmett Johnson. I actually really don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if they're going to sign another free agent running back or if they're just going to be like, hey, let's get a UDFA in here. I don't know. I could see them doing a Katron Allen or Nick Singleton kind of thing right here, just to give some depth at the position. But, Emmett Johnson as well.
My only thought is I wonder if Jaden Ott could be in play because of DeMarco Murray. That's like the only reason that I could maybe see him getting drafted. And even then, I wouldn't see him getting drafted, in the 4th round we're in right now? Yeah, I don't think he's going to get drafted that high.
And man, dude, Jaden Ott's production just fell off a cliff last year at Oklahoma. I mean, at Cal, whenever it was him and Mendoza kind of running the offense, it was looking great. And then I thought Oklahoma might compete with Mizzou for like one of the better transfer backs last year, and they just did not. Ott did good. I mean, there was definitely some flashes of him still being a great player, obviously. But I'm just not as confident as I was in him when he was coming out of Cal for that transfer portal. So, but yeah, I can see what you're saying. DeMarco Murray and all that. I mean, he's got the Oklahoma connection. So we'll just kind of see what happens with it.
Let's see what we have because we have. Well, actually, we're not going to be able to see what we have. Actually, yeah, we can. We have Carnell Tate, Zion Young, Gabe Jackas, Chandler Rivers. So we have corner, edge, wide receiver. They could take best player available here.
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
I think they're going to get a running back, but I don't know if it's going to be. Honestly, what do you think about Katron Allen here?
I like Katron a lot. He kind of
Too
reminds me.
early?
The only thing that's no, it's not even that. The only thing that scares me. So he's a leading rusher in Penn State history, which is incredible stuff. Especially if you consider a lot of the guys that came out of Penn State, like the Saquon Barkleys of the world. The only thing that freaks me out about him is that like he's an every down back, and I don't know. Sometimes he just doesn't give me a ton of like explosiveness on the tape, which I've been kind of looking for in a running back in a while. And I know we have Walker, obviously, but the last guy that did that on tape for me was Caleb Johnson last year. And if you played fantasy football at all, I'm sure you saw how that turned out. So that would be my only thing I'd be hesitant about with Katron. But I mean, to be fair, also, I mean, Emmett Johnson didn't have a ton of explosiveness either. Is there Mike Washington around there? Anyone like that? Just to kind of add like
That's what I was wondering.
an extra
That's what I was
layer.
wondering.
I don't know. Like Mike Washington, I know we can't, just look at the 40 time like every time, but like I mean, he kind of played in an offense that favored passing, and he still got 1,000 yards last year. I was pretty impressed.
He's also exploded recently after the combine.
Yeah.
And I think, didn't the Chiefs have a meeting with him?
I want to say that they did. Let me check my notes here.
Would you take Washington over Johnson and Allen?
Was there a Singleton there too? If you scroll up, maybe he wouldn't be down. I doubt it.
I think he's gone.
Le'Veon Moss, yeah, Singleton might be gone. Yeah, I mean, Mike Washington would be like more of like an unknown guy, but like, dude, I mean, that 40 time is really impressive, and he showed a lot of athleticism. I think his game speed will always match that 40 time if you watch back a lot of his tape. But yeah, I could definitely see him doing pretty well at the next level. Oh, checking out the tight ends.
Yeah,
here
I'm doing a little research on the tight. None of these guys really move me. And actually, I got a question. Who would you say is the best blocking tight end value-wise later in the draft?
That's a good question. Let me go back through my notes here. That's I think
because I think the Chiefs are going to be in a mode where they know Travis Kelce's coming back. He's going to get the targets, but maybe they find a way to bolster that tight end room because Noah Gray can't block. Jake Briningstool is an unknown. I don't think he's going to show you anything. I think Jared Wiley, I don't know.
I mean, like a Max Bredesen. I think that's how you say his name, or Breeder Bredesen. I want to say it's Bredesen. Is he on there still? Might be a go-to, but man, I think he's pretty far down on my board. I mean, that's fucking like 7th round there. I think he had one of the better run blocking tapes I've seen. I typically like guys that at least have a balance, especially for the Chiefs, because we seem to just use our tight ends as an extension of the wide receiver core sometimes. But I mean, we've used tight ends in blocking sets too, obviously. I think we had, was it the T-Rex formation or something like that? Like a year or two.
Something
I forget
like
what we called it.
I think there will be a change, though, this season. Wow. He's not getting drafted. I'll tell you that right now. But okay. So why don't we go ahead and look? Is running back the move here, or do we go with defense? I think they're going to get a running back in this draft. I just don't know if it's going to be 4th or 5th. And you know what? Let's go to the defensive side of the ball, and let's see the best defensive player available. What do you think about Malik Muhammad?
Where's Malik? Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, he's good. Malik did really well. I'm trying to remember if I don't think he transferred. Did he? Try to look back at my notes right here. No, I think he played there all. I remember he did really good. I want to say I'm not going crazy on this. He did really good. They're like one of their playoff runs a couple of years ago when he was going against all those Washington guys. I think that he maybe struggled like a little bit, but I don't think it was that bad.
I like the RAS score. I like the height, and I don't mind the weight.
No, I don't mind that at all. Who else will they have at corner there? Right there. You know, is there anyone else like, or is it kind of trying to go down far on the list?
Julian Neal
Taft,
from
Neal.
Arkansas.
Hmm.
Massis from California. Is this Caden Proctor's brother? Do we know this?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that they are brothers.
Because Caleb and Caden are both spelled with a K.
I'm pretty sure I remember reading that somewhere. No, maybe not.
Do you know of an Amari DiMarcado?
I do know Amari DiMarcado.
I think the Chiefs just signed him.
I think, don't hold me to this. I'm trying to remember last year what it was like. Do you remember Arizona had that long touchdown run and then fumbled at the 1 yard line? I don't remember if it was. I think it might have been him that did that last year. He won the game against like the Rams or something like that, and then he fumbled at the 1 yard line, which is like an infamous moment. I feel like I've seen just happen so many times. But hey, maybe that just figured out our running back thing.
Him?
I got it from ESPN too. So
so ESPN confirmed that they did sign
him?
Well,
no, hold on me. Sorry, y'all watching the draft stream here.
Yeah, sorry. We're kind of trying to see if this is breaking news. I don't know if I'd really be whelmed with that just because he's 5'9", 215.
Yeah, he had just had some explosive plays down in Arizona. It'd be like my only thing I really remember from him.
I guess his rushing average is 6.5 yards a carry. That can't be right.
I feel like we're being lied to here on this because I only got it from Sleeper. I don't know if that was who you got it from too. On that notification.
In 2025, he averaged 7.1 yards a carry and he had 44 carries. So he basically played 2 games. 2 games worth of carries. I mean, he played in 5 games where he had 2, 5, 5, 1, and 5 carries. So against the Falcons, he balled, but that's about
it. We did sign him. It looks like
we did.
I don't know how much I trust this website though. It says per Jordan. Okay, let me. Is this the real Jordan Schultz? Okay, it is. Okay, it is real. So I was just making sure because I had an underscore in Schultz's name, and I was like, just making sure. Okay, so I mean, he did look pretty good last year. I think he fumbled that's the one thing I remember. I'm pretty sure that was him. He had a couple big explosive runs though for the Cardinals. The Cardinals running back situation was just kind of a mess last year. So, but I remember he stepped up a couple different times for him. So that would be a good signing. Kind of figure out a situation here in the draft. I don't think we really have to worry about another running back at this point. If we got him, I would feel pretty okay.
I'm going to pull this up here in a second.
Yeah, I just pulled it up on my desktop here.
I'm going to try to share it with the stream because it said, according to Jordan Schultz, he had 1,100 yards last year, which I don't know where they got that.
I think it might be kick return stuff too, if I had to guess. I think he was their primary kick returner. If I'm remembering right. Let me go to my little stat sheet here.
Sorry, this guy's completely derailed what we were talking about, but I think it is relevant to what we were talking about.
I mean, it was because we were just getting ready to draft a wide receiver.
Yeah, I guess we were literally just
not running back. So I definitely do think that it's important to what we're talking about here. I don't know where.
Wait a minute. No. This says that he had over 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns in Arizona. He was in Arizona since like 2023.
That would make more sense.
This might be what we call a training camp body. I guarantee you that he is making less money than Isaiah Pacheco.
Probably so. Yeah. Okay. So maybe running back is still in play here. Yeah, he is
I
the
think
guy who
it should be.
dropped the ball last year against, I think it was Dallas or someone. Gosh
This
dang.
is from
Or it was against Tennessee. It's against
Slandon Sammy Joe.
Tennessee. He went 71 yards or something like that and fumbled the ball at the 1. That was him.
Do we really want somebody, though, that these stats are coming from 2023, 2024? Guys, it's the big 2026. We're in the big old 2026. I don't care what a guy did in 2023. Isaiah Pacheco was good in 2023.
Yeah, I remember he went to TCU a while back. I think he might have been a part of that TCU. No, I think he might have been a year or two before that TCU championship run, or right around then. Yeah, I don't know. I say just for now, maybe we just skip on a running back though, and go with a defensive player.
Bring up the mock draft.
Yeah.
What defensive player are we thinking? I mean, I'm all for taking a corner here. I would not mind Muhammad at all.
I just feel like there's some guys like later who I can kind of comp with Muhammad and feel good about, but Muhammad does have a lot more big game playing experience. I don't know. Like Jaden Kennedy, who's like a little bit further down. I mean, he's a little bit shorter too, or like an Andre Fuller. I wouldn't mind getting either of those guys a little bit later and like taking a break here.
Where are you seeing these guys?
Oh, they're far down there. Don't get me wrong. There's Jaden Kennedy right there. I was really impressed with his tape.
In the 5th or the 6th.
Oh yeah, you can get like some of these guys like in the 6th or 7th. Just like thinking off the top of my head of like where corners are at though, and like Veach always likes to run corner, so I wouldn't mind just waiting on those guys. Who do we got at safety? Like a Bud Clark right now sounds pretty good to me.
I'm all for it. You want to do that?
Yeah, I'd love a Bud Clark. I remember his last season before this past one. He looked great. He just looks phenomenal. This past season, he still looked good. I think he dealt with like a little bit of an injury thing towards the end of the year. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, I'd rather go like a Bud Clark or someone like that right here. Just kind of shore up that safety room. I'm still not a big fan of Jamari Connor, so it would just kind of drive me crazy if I keep seeing Connor out there on the field. I think he's a good guy, but man, dude, he cost the Chiefs several big plays. Yeah. I'll tell you what, dude, if McClellan's still sitting there too, I might take him coming up too.
I know we've taken him previously. This might be where I do look at running back in the 5th.
Yeah, still kind of keeping an eye on everything.
Yeah, let me go ahead and go to the offense. Actually, okay, so Katron Allen is there in the 5th.
That's pretty good.
I like Kevin Coleman, but I don't really like him in the 5th.
Yeah, I like Kevin Coleman too, but I don't know how many slot receivers one team can have.
We can get Mike Washington in the 5th.
Still can. Man, what is it about Katron? Like, I just like him, but then like I watch his tape back, and sometimes I'm just like, he just doesn't give me anything. I don't know what it is. And he has good elusiveness, good power runner and stuff too. Yeah,
I wouldn't hate taking Allen, but I also think realistically, I don't know if the Chiefs have met with Allen and they love speed, and they met with Mike Washington, who's, oh my goodness, 6'1", 223 with an RAS score of 10. They
did meet with Katron officially. Okay. Or I think maybe unofficially. At least I have it on my list here of meetings.
When it comes to round 5, not saying that it is a dart throw because it's just not, I would like to take Washington here. I think the athleticism and the height I really, really like. And the RAS score, like, he's just a good athlete. He could play on special teams.
Yeah, for sure. I think that'd be a great pick right here. I like it better than Katron. I'm not saying Katron hasn't looked great over the last 3 or 4 years at Penn State, but I just kind of like it's a boomer bust pick in the 5th round. You can't go wrong with that, and I could see him easily contributing in some way at some point in the Chiefs' offense. It'd be nice to see him contribute. I mean, we already have
Jalen Daniels went. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Jalen Daniels just went to the Baltimore Ravens. That's wild. That's not going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. That is not going to happen.
That'd be crazy.
I'm a KU guy. Wow. I mean, if you want to find kind of like it feels even just blasphemous comparing Jalen Daniels to Lamar Jackson, but
they just need another. Well, listen, Michael, you ready? They just need another running back up in Baltimore.
Clearly, he'd be a great scout team player. He'd be awesome.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he'd be great at that.
But actually, I'll say this: a little insider information. My buddy actually works within KU football. I don't know if he'd be happy with me sharing this, but Jalen Daniels during the pro day decided that he did not want to test out. He did not want to do the vertical. And he didn't bench. He threw, but he lost like 10 pounds since the combine. So that's a little need to know about Jalen Daniels at this stage, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't think we see him.
He just did not sell me at all last year for watching him at that Mizzou game against KU. I was just like, yeah, there's just no way. I just didn't see anything from him.
He's also like 23 years old, 24 years old. So
yeah, dude, that guy must be ancient.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We can get to the Chiefs pick. I was just in disbelief that Jalen Daniels got drafted in the 5th round. Goodness gracious.
I think he'll be a good UDFA somewhere, good solid scout team player. I just don't see him ever making a big splash in the NFL. But hey, you never know. I didn't see Brady Cook really doing anything like that. And he ended up starting a game this last year for the Jets. So I guess anything is possible.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. The Jets don't. Quentin Skinner is on the Jets. Quentin Skinner was a Jayhawk, and that dude couldn't catch the football. He got picked up just because of the intangibles. He's just giant. But what do we think the Chiefs should do here in the 5th round? They just got Washington, the running back from Arkansas. I think this is almost where you look more at defense, right?
Yeah, give me offensive linemen or defensive backs right now, and maybe a defensive tackle. We'll go. How about we go D-line, O-line, or corners? That's my only place I'm really looking right now.
I'm all over the corners. I think corners probably the right. What about?
I really like Kennedy a lot, man. Looking back at my notes, but I'm pretty sure he was pretty dang good in man coverage from what I remember. And I think he's just getting drafted lower just because he wasn't as much of the star in the Oregon cornerback room, but I think he was great last year. Yeah, I mean, I only have I don't have a lot of negatives against him, really. He had good size. I mean, maybe not great size, but at 5'11", 185, pretty standard stuff. He's a redshirt senior. I'd rather go a Kennedy or something, but I think we might be overdrafting him at this current spot. I like Fuller a lot. Fuller definitely stuck out to me a ton. Domani Jackson was a good, solid guy.
An overdraft?
It would also be an overdraft. Yeah, both of those would be. DJ Harvey, there's another guy down there that was kind of just a guy that transferred to USC and fell off a cliff a little bit ago. It was kind of quite the transition to see him do, but I remember he flashed.
Is there an edge rusher that you like?
Okay, here's a weird thing. So Caden Curry, dude, I mean, if you look at some of his tape from last year, where's this guy been? I think he had 12 sacks or something crazy. He's been projected to go pretty dang low, and I don't know. I know we're loading up on edge rushers here, but I think he was a little undersized, and maybe he didn't have the
Is
greatest
he just Jack
speed
Sawyer?
He kind of reminded me a little bit of a Jack Sawyer type. Yeah, I mean, he had which kind of just a classic speed rusher. I don't know if he has great bend or athleticism necessarily, but man, he made plays last year for Ohio State. I mean, it was impressive stuff. I feel like it would be a guy you like just can't go wrong on when you're drafting him this late. You know, I mean, worst comes to worst, he's a special teams guy or something like that. But I wouldn't mind getting a Caden Curry here. I know it'd be 3 edges in one draft, but I want us to have one more good edge rusher, and I think Caden Curry could definitely be a good pass rusher for sure. I don't think it'll be as
Blanket.
good of an edge.
They need edge rushers. Blanket.
Yeah.
We taking him. And then they pick again at 176. So we could. I think. No. I think we look maybe here at offensive linemen. I want to use our remaining picks on corners. Or do we use why don't we look at corners here? 202's just not great right now. I think all these guys will be available later. Offense. Yeah. They don't need a tackle, but why don't we look at guard?
I can't see the screen right now if we're looking at it, though.
Can you not see guard?
Oh, no,
That's because I decided not to share my screen. That would probably be a good idea. Also, we're about to do another mock draft after we hear from our sponsors. But for the next mock draft, we want you guys to pick who the Chiefs should take. And, just for time's sake, we'll probably do a 5-round mock. And so we don't have to get way into the weeds. But what are we thinking for guard here?
I can't see your options.
You still can't see it.
No, you're good.
Oh, let me see. We'll go ahead and add it to stage. Well, that is not what I wanted.
I'm about to say, I don't know if we have like a Pat Coogan or like Parker Brailsford. I like both of those guys a lot. Connor Tollison, if we want to, take him out of the center spot and put him in a guard, that'd be good too.
I think Coogan went earlier. Let's see.
Yeah, 400s. We're starting to get really far. Let's go up to the top here. Yeah. Like a Bo Stevens. I remember he looked great. He was a better pass blocker, but like he was just kind of a good all-around guard.
Is he even available?
No, he might not be. He was kind of going that mid 150s range or so. DJ Campbell might be there. No, we don't even have him. Okay. Reed Adams had a. I would love to go Pat Coogan here. I'd love to go Pat Coogan, or I mean, he's a center, but like I think he could go over to guard. He wasn't as good of a run blocker though. Reed Adams had a better 2024 than he did last year, and then. Kobe Baines, who played at KU, he might still be on that list there too. I don't know if he is or not, but he was a good run blocker.
I bet he is. I would not. I'll tell you what, Bryce Foster, I would not want the Chiefs to take him. He is sneaky good. I don't know how you feel about Tollison from Mizzou.
Tollison, man, he looked good his first couple of years, and we kept thinking to get better and better, but last year he just struggled. It was not his best year. I kind of took a little bit of a step back. I think he was still a decent just pass run block guy, but I don't think his run blocking was as good, which is surprising. But I think Ahmed Hardy just kind of, was that good that it didn't matter.
So why don't we take Coogan here just as a flyer?
Yeah.
Which I do not hate at all, just because we're going to try to run through this mock draft so we don't keep you guys for an hour and a half. Drew Allar goes to the Bills. Interesting.
Yeah. Guess you're just taking a flyer.
Decisions. Let's see. I think round 6 has to be defensive back. That's kind of where I feel the most comfortable.
Oh, 100%.
I bet some of the guys that we were looking at are probably going to be available.
Oh, definitely. For some reason, I really like Andre Fuller. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way that Toledo corners are produced. I'm trying to remember who the guy coming out of Toledo a few years ago was. He plays for the Eagles. I remember watching him down at the Senior Bowl, and I was just like, holy cow, guy's great. I'm trying to remember his name.
I think he's gone. I think Fuller went.
Did he?
Yeah. He went to the Giants.
Dang, man.
Kennedy's
That's
still
all
there,
right
though.
though. Yeah, Kennedy's still there. I like him a lot. I know we'd have like a really small cornerback room there too, which should be the only other issue. Damani Jackson. I mean, you can't really beat getting an Alabama corner late round.
Yeah.
Man, DJ Harvey just fell off a cliff, like I was talking about earlier. Josh Moten would be a really interesting pick. I know that we kind of tend to like pick those corners that just are like a bit outside the realm of like normalcy, and he'd be a Southern Miss guy, but I really wouldn't mind him at all. That would be like a Veach pick that like just would not surprise me at all. Just get a guy that's like not a power four guy, but he played pretty well. I was really impressed with a lot of his man coverage skills and his zone coverage. I think he did great last year.
I want to take
Actually,
Moten, but I don't want to take him yet.
wait on him.
I think we
I
could
say
get
he
him
is decently
again.
far down on my
Yeah,
list here. He's 7th round rated for me, so I might
So
go
why don't we go?
like a Kennedy here.
I think that's the correct pick too, because you
Yeah.
can't doubling up on cornerback is not a bad idea here.
Yeah, and I remember Kennedy had a decent game against Indiana and looked pretty good against Texas Tech, and I think that like he was like one of the reasons they kind of just shut down Texas Tech. So I'd be great with that.
Trying to see if a safety would be worth taking a look at, just because they don't really have. See, Moten should be available for us to take. Do we have Mr. Irrelevant this year? I don't think we do. Oh, wait, do we even have another pick this year? That might have been our last pick.
Oh, and that would be a good one if not. I don't think so.
No. Guess we're taking Moten in the UDFA class. All right. We got Carnell Tate, Zion Young, Gabe Jackas, Chandler Rivers, Bud Clark, Mike Washington Jr., Caden Curry, Pat Coogan, and Jaden Kennedy. So they went out, they addressed the defense in a big way.
Man, if I would say if none of those edge rushers succeed, I'll be stunned. I'd be pretty disappointed too. I think the Chiefs fans would be as well. I think we adjust our biggest other need, which was the cornerback room as well. Safety room got more showed up, and the wide receiver room, which is kind of just feels like it's in chaos, just not being talked about. But the wide receiver room gets showed up as well. And I feel good about adding just another offensive lineman in there, even if he's not. I mean, he played center, I think, all years at Indiana, but I feel great just about having that depth. Yeah, I think he could. I mean, he could play guard or whatever. The only big question I feel like we missed here is maybe having a backup tackle or something like that as well. And I think we also might have missed on getting a defensive tackle as well. I definitely feel like we might need one more of each of those, and then I might kind of chill out and be like, okay, we got a good balance. But hey, we went all in on edge this one and corners, and I mean those rooms will hopefully be great next year if we did this.
And they could figure out a way to find the rest of the talent, maybe in the UDFA class or maybe in that kind of second wave of free agency where guys get cut right before training camp. And we want to do one final mock draft where you guys pick who the Chiefs select in the first 5 rounds, and we'll do that right after a word from our fantastic sponsor. This video is sponsored by my friends over at DM Injury Law. Injured in an accident, you could be entitled to significant compensation, but time is extremely critical. Rely on the experienced personal injury attorneys at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's top injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury practice supported by a large team of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. And best of all, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law operates on a contingency fee basis, meaning no fees unless they win your case. And they also provide free consultations. So if you've been injured, don't wait. You can contact DM Law today for a free consultation and learn how they can help you pursue the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on recovery. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thanks to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video. Huge shout out to the sponsors that have supported me and this channel all offseason long. And shout out to you guys for watching this live stream. We've got a great crowd in here tonight. And if you guys enjoy this, we'll definitely do more of them here in the future because Garrett's the go-to guy when it comes to all things NFL draft. And, as we get closer to the draft, we are right now working on behind the scenes getting credentialed to go cover the draft in Pittsburgh. I was there in Detroit. Pittsburgh should be even better because the Chiefs are going to have 2 first-round picks. They could trade up, could trade back, get even more draft capital. It's going to be a hell of a year to cover the Chiefs, in that specific city. But with that being said, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and refresh. That way you guys can do a mock draft with us. We are going to let you guys pick who the Chiefs select. I'm going to go ahead and do all the same rules. It's PFF draft boards. I'll go ahead and share my screen. It'll be interesting to see what the fans come up with because I think we might get a lot of skill position players very early on. So we'll do normal speed. So Mendoza's going 1. If Mendoza does not go number 1, I would be literally shocked. So Carnell Tate goes 5 here.
Hey, Caleb Downs right there, though.
Ooh. I'll tell you what, I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. We're going to reject.
Also do that.
We're going to reject. I would do probably most of those. Okay, so the Chiefs have their chance at Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles. Those are really the 2. I mean, if it's not those 2 guys, if it's Maui Goa, I might be a little frustrated. So why don't you guys let us know in the chat which player the Chiefs should take here at 9. I think it might have to be Downs. Like with the need of with the need of a defensive back, taking a safety, I think, can we agree that they should take Caleb Downs as the best overall prospect in the draft?
I think that would
Let
be
us know in the chat.
Yeah.
I think that has to be because Styles is a really interesting prospect, but I don't think it is better than taking not only a position of need in safety, but arguably getting the best player in the draft. So comment in the chat if you guys think we should take Caleb Downs. I think that would be a slam dunk pick. And then you have, I mean, how would you be feeling about the secondary after drafting Caleb Downs?
Yeah, I think we'd have a true star. I mean, the secondary for sure. I mean, it would just stack up that safety room and like whatever we have left. We can just figure out from there. Yeah, I think that it would help the corners a lot too, which we need to get more of, obviously. I think that last draft that we did, Sammy made a good point. We probably did a little bit too many slot corners. I definitely think that safety would be an easy position just to address. I know that we just got our free agent signing done for the safety position, but we can always add more and just get a star. I think I'm assuming Bossa will step up into that 3rd linebacker position this year, and we can just kind of work with him, Tranquil, and Bolton in the middle and just see what happens with it.
I'm a little worried that they're not going to give Bossa more playing time. So I want to get the pick correct from the chat. Are we thinking Styles? Are we thinking Downs? Comment down below right now because I think we're leaning towards Downs being the pick here. Just because linebacker is a position of need, but it's not bigger than safety right now. Okay, Sammy wants to go Styles.
That's it. I mean, well, if no one goes against Sammy, we will not we will not go against.
We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and take Styles. I guarantee you, Downs goes directly after.
Sure's up that I'm surprised Downs would last that long. That'd be crazy, man. This would be insane. Yeah, I wouldn't blame the Patriots for trading it for that. Yeah, safety does look a little bit deeper than linebacker for sure, especially now that we signed a free agent. My only concern is just like
Mm.
I'll be interested to see what we do at linebacker.
Okay,
I'd want
what
us to
the
start
hell are we
Styles, so
doing?
that there's no way that would happen.
A second rounder next year? The Rams are just like F them picks, man.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. The Rams would be crazy for this. They have such a big future ahead, and they might start to try like building around whoever's next at
This
quarterback
isn't
for him
even
next
really that
year.
bad of a
So
haul either.
that one might be more realistic.
Okay. The Chiefs need an offensive player. Kenyon Sadiq is available. Who do you guys think the Chiefs should take here at pick 29? McDonald, the defensive tackle from Ohio State. We talked about him. Casey Concepcion is very interesting. They could use a wide receiver. Zion Young is available. Could you imagine getting Styles and Zion Young back to back?
It would definitely shore up the defense for sure. It would be a nice little helper. The only thing we would really need there is just
Hood.
defensive backs. Oh yeah, he'll look really good at Tennessee last year. Keith Abney looked pretty good there at Arizona State as well. But going back to KC, actually, KC was interviewed about coming to KC, and he said, KC sounds great in KC. I'd be glad to go there for sure. But yeah, we'll definitely see what the fans say. So it looks like Sammy's won Sadiq right now.
Sadiq is the guy, apparently. All right.
Hey, he's an athletic freak.
I don't hate it.
Dude, he's an athletic freak up there at Oregon. I was very, very impressed with this tape. I think he'll be a great addition. He'll be a great takeoff from whenever Kelsey leaves us next year, which I'm assuming will happen, but I never know. Definitely would take
gracious. I'd
take probably something like that too. But we'll let the fans just go through the regular draft without the trades for today, and maybe in the future we'll do something like that.
All right, we thinking Caden Proctor. I'll go ahead and Omar Cooper. I don't think that they would double up on offense, but they could.
Yakis is there
Stowers
too.
Would have been a good pick. Pons.
I like Stowers a lot. I think Stowers broke a combine record or something, or maybe it was Sadiq. I'm trying to remember which one.
I think you might have been right. I think it was Stowers.
Me,
I could be wrong though.
Pretty sure I read he was doing something like that.
We thinking Pons, Dante Corleone, the Godfather from Cincinnati.
Yes, that's such a great nickname. Trotter's there, but we already got a linebacker. Malachi Lawrence there from UCF. I think he's a little bit smaller guy.
Surratt is just not a pick that high.
He's looking at Omar here.
I don't hate Omar Cooper. They do need help on offense.
I really liked watching Omar at Indiana last year too. It was so much fun watching him and Surratt go back and forth over and over again. And they were pretty unstoppable for most teams that Indiana went against. Obviously, if you've watched the national championship game, they kind of continued that trend. He's a man coverage beater, which, man, I can't say the last time we've had a guy that can just consistently beat man coverage. So I would definitely take a guy like Omar Cooper for sure.
Is Omar Cooper the move chat? Omar, or he didn't say Omar Cooper. Well, yeah, he did say Omar Cooper. Oh, give him the Heisman now. Actually, you said about Mendoza, but that was one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I will go ahead and scroll up the player list. We've got Chris Johnson is interesting as a corner. I like Trotter a lot. I just wouldn't like him at 40.
Well, we already got that linebacker figured out. Abney would be pretty good as well. He'd be more of a traditional outside corner than that slot guys that I keep just getting addicted to. I wouldn't mind going Abney at all. I think he'd give us some great size. He was graded great last year, too, from what I watched on PFF and from what my own tape was. He looked really good overall, so I would not mind that at all.
So who are we taking?
No, hey, Sammy just down there. He just mentioned Abney, Keith Abney, the second there, Arizona State. He looked really good last year. He had a couple of great games.
All right, drop your answer down in the chat below. Let's see who the Chiefs are taking here in the second. Pick 40. Drafted a wide receiver. They drafted a tight end. They drafted a linebacker in Sonny Styles at 9.
They even have a Chris Johnson out of San Diego.
Chris Johnson
State, yeah.
I wouldn't hate it. The Chiefs just met with him today too.
Yeah. I think he'd be more of the outside guy too.
It's Chris Johnson.
Looks like we're going in between Johnson and Abney here. We'll see if they can figure it out in the chat, and we'll go with one of those two guys.
I think Abney will probably be available a little later, but they'd have to trade up probably. But
I like Chris Johnson a lot for the value we're getting here. I wouldn't mind that at all. He's only 21, whereas Abney's also 21. They're about the same size. They kind of reminded me of each other when I was watching their tape. I think Chris Johnson was a little bit better in man coverage, but they're kind of similar. They're both good zone guys. I don't know.
Chris Johnson's taller.
I have them both at 6 foot. Is saying Chris Johnson or one of them's 5'11"?
Yeah, which I mean, inches are important, but so okay. I think the pick is clip that I think the pick here is going to be Johnson.
Yeah, we'll go Chris Johnson
because you got to think too. The Chiefs need to try to replenish cornerback right now, and there's going to be some good players available here.
Yeah, right now we'd have Johnson, Kohu, and we also would have, of course, Noel Williams, who was a leader in interceptions and the NCAA a couple years ago.
Corleone goes to the Rams. That would be tough.
Dude, the Rams be loading up on defensive linemen at that point. They got so many. They already have the kingpin down there, so be hard.
They can develop it, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is just absurd. Is this the Dallas 4th round pick that they traded for Micah Parsons?
I think so. Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, let's go ahead and look at the best players available. Oh, so not trying to criticize the fans, but I have noticed we do not have any edge rushers.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to see from the crowd. Yeah. Be interesting to see how the crowd reacted, but
if they don't grab an edge rusher in the first 3 rounds, I might crash out.
Yeah, I think I might get a little stressed too. Unless we trade for Max Crosby, then I'll be pretty chill with whatever happens. Danny Davis or Dennis Sutton was a guy that I really liked. Yeah, I agree. With Sammy down there, I think they even met with him. I want to say a couple weeks ago. Just a good, solid guy, produced every year.
Where is he?
He should be at the top.
Oh, he's right here.
Yeah, there. I'd be surprised if he's rated any lower. Yeah, he's really good. 6'5", good size. I think that's who the crowd's wanting.
Sweet. The Chiefs get their edge rusher. They need, if they don't exit the first 3 rounds with an edge rusher, Brett Veach needs to be sitting on a toaster because that seat's going to be hot. Let's see.
I feel pretty good about Dennis Sutton too. I think that the entire Penn State team just had an off year this year, but I still think that he played great overall.
I just think you got to get an edge rusher, man. I wouldn't even hate if they use their first 2 picks on edge rushers or at least defensive players.
Tyreek, dude, I tell you what, Tyreek Sapp like a year or 2 ago, man, he was great. And then like just last year, one of those other guys just kind of fell off a cliff. Will Lee, I really liked watching him as a corner down at A&M. He really did a great job blocking up Mizzou's star wide receivers a couple of years ago in a big game. So I think he could be great as well.
Skylar Gill-Clark. Skylar Gill-Howard is interesting as well. He was a mainstay in that Tech defense.
He was, yeah. Like I always say, based on watching that Oregon-Texas Tech game, Texas Tech did not lose because their defense played bad at all. If you go back and watch it, that was all an offensive loss completely.
So is the move here Skylar Gill-Howard? double up on your kind of defensive players. You can put him in at defensive tackle. I also think Howard, who's a little undersized.
Yeah, but I feel great. I'd feel great about our interior at that point, man. I don't think our interior is going to struggle at all next year if we got Skylar Gill Howard.
Low key, and I'm all for it. We'll go ahead and take him right now. 6'1", 285 is kind of a similar build to me. And I know from seeing NFL players up close and personal that I'm not blocking anybody or getting through to anybody. But there's a reason I'm hosting this live stream and I'm not out there. But yeah, 6'1", 285. For reference, like I'm 6'1", 245.
I got to look up. I think Poe was heavier than that. I think Poe was. No, he's 6'3", actually.
Yeah,
I feel like Dontari Poe is shorter, but I'm wrong on that.
Well, I mean, he was shorter compared to some of the tackles the Chiefs had.
Yeah.
Aller.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great pick. I think the Texas Tech defensive line last year, I think all of them played great. So I would not mind getting any of those guys at all.
Yeah, it was legit.
Yeah, it was pretty great to watch. And if Texas Tech had a quarterback, they would have gone further.
Yeah, well, now they're paying one. Mike Washington's available here in the 5th round. This could be interesting. Chat, what do we think?
He likes Ott.
Really? Okay.
Jaden Ott. Again, he looked great at Cal before he transferred. So
I think Ott could be a safety, or what did I just say? I think Ott could be a safe draft pick because he did play under DeMarco Murray. And that is going to have like some impact on drafting. Like, I think Kenneth Walker's here because Eric Bieniemy and DeMarco Murray wanted him. They could have gotten anybody. Clearly, they were going to spend money on whoever. So, are we thinking that Ott is the move here?
I could see it for sure. Oh my gosh.
I think it would make the most sense. I also think it's a very realistic pick.
Trying to remember, he had an injury last year too. Just trying to make sure it wasn't anything serious, but
really quickly, Aaron, I will address this question because I suck. Just because you have size does not mean you have skill. I got a lot of size, not a lot of skill. That's the answer for you. But I honestly, unless Sammy wants to go a different direction, I kind of think that Ott is the pick here.
Yeah, that injury would be like my only big concern I'd have. I think he'll get at the Senior Bowl and everything like that, though, too. Yeah, just the injury stuff would be the thing that scared me, and just his like lack of production in his final 2 years. But man, that year he had with Cal a couple of years ago was great. So wouldn't mind that at all.
I guess we'll go ahead and take Ott then. And that might have been our only pick in the 5th round, or maybe we get another. No, you know what? We should get another one because of. Okay, this is just gonna keep scrolling like that because I have it on slow. I think we should get another 5th rounder though because of the comp pick.
I think so. I would assume.
Yeah, we'll have 169, which Pat Coogan going 168. That's around where kind of expected him. Man, I remember. I think Reggie Virgil toasted KU earlier this year. Mike Washington.
And I think we met with Reggie Virgil as well.
Actually, we're not taking another running back. And let's see. Is corner the move here? Wide receiver. Ooh. Actually, I thought that was Caden Proctor. I don't know.
Nah,
I'm probably all right on Caleb Proctor. Oh my gosh, your favorite, Garrett.
Yeah, from John Carroll University. I tell you what, I did finally watch some tape on that guy. It looks like high school tape, but man, he did look good. I give him a lot of credit where credit's due. He bowled out in the Senior Bowl. It was very impressive. Bryce Lance is who he's going with. Games. Oh yeah, he's saying Sammy's looking at Bryce Lance right here. lost my mic there for a second. But he is the brother of Trey Lance, who
Oh.
infamously got drafted by the 49ers. Also played at North Dakota State University, so not going against the best competition, but that those D2 programs are still pretty good. I get they're not
Well, I'll tell you
D2,
what.
D1, but yeah, they're still
Yeah.
pretty good. So
Since we are a bit in a time crunch, we'll go ahead and take Bryce Lance, and then they get their wide receiver. And I think, let's see how round 5 ends up wrapping up. Oh, we get another pick. So we take, let's see. I've seen good things about Llewellyn.
For who? Which one?
Llewellyn from Iowa.
Oh yeah, he does look good. I'd be fine with Llewellyn. Jeff Caldwell is who Sammy is looking at.
Where is Jeff Caldwell? Is he lower down on the list?
Or Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst from Georgia State, man. Yeah, I tell you what, his tape
Jalen
really
Daniels, guys.
Up the screen. Yeah. No, but Ted Hurst looked really good. I really liked his tape down there at Georgia State. He looked great. Watching it back, he has some good size, and he's kind of some underrated speed down there as well. I'd be interested to see how he would do at the next level against better competition. But I really liked his build a lot. But
I can't see the first guy that Sammy suggested. So Jeff Caldwell.
It'd be Jeff Caldwell out of Cincinnati. Be another wide receiver. He'd just
Caldwell?
be a classic big guy.
Ted Hurst or Caldwell? Monroe Freeling at right tackle. Isn't he going way earlier?
Is he still there though? Yeah, he's going like first round.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's what I have on him.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that's pick 29, but we're in the 5th round. So Sammy, why don't you go ahead and give us your pick? I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being.
I say Sammy or Ahmad.
I would take a wide receiver, or I would take an edge rusher, but I also understand taking a wide receiver because they only have 4 under contract now. I guess 5, including Nico Remigio, but if they drafted somebody better and more explosive, I would not complain whatsoever. Man, I'm way down there on the list. Man, I would be all over Washington if. Okay, why don't we go ahead and take Caldwell?
I'd be fine with. Okay, we'll go Caldwell. That's fine. Caldwell's got some great size in the outside there, 6'5" at wide receiver, which when was the last time we had someone that was that tall in the room? It's been a little while. I did like Max Llewellyn's tape a lot from 2024. I have a few notes on him here. He played pretty well. I had him 2nd round or 3rd round graded last year, but it looks like he fell off a bit of a steep stat decline a little bit this year, but liked him a lot.
Caldwell would be very interesting in the 5th. I think it'll depend on where they take wide receiver and if they get one in the 1st. So this is the mock draft that you guys came up with. We got Sonny Styles at 9, Kenyon Sadiq at 29, Chris Johnson at 40. That might be my favorite pick.
Yeah, that's great.
Dennis Sutton at 74, Skylar Gill-Howard at 109. That's intriguing. Jaden Ott at 148, Bryce Lance at 169, and then Jeff Caldwell at 176. So the offense is going to get a lot of a boost from this draft. I definitely think they could go out in this class and draft more for offense, but I expect the first 2 or 3 picks of this draft to be defense. Unless they become enamored with a wide receiver and take him at 9, I don't think you're getting Tyson, Lemon, definitely not Tate past 15.
I could see both sides of that. I could definitely see them just getting a wide receiver though, just to be like, hey, we just want to get that situation figured out. Not think about it for the rest of the draft too. They did meet with all 3 guys, Tate, Tyson, and Lemon. It's my belief at the combine. So I would not be surprised if any of those guys came up at 9 and still got, drafted that early. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they went to like the later rounds. Yeah, Sadiq would be interesting, for sure. Especially late first round, I could see, but I just don't know. Especially with them bringing Kelsey back, it just makes me think they want to wait another year on tight end. So we'll kind of just see what happens with that. Sadiq's an athletic freak. I really like Stowers' tape as well. But it'd be really interesting to see them go tight end that early in the draft with Kelsey coming back, especially since Kelsey was still a top 5 producer at tight end last year, and that's even with him aging. I can still see him being at least a top 10 producer this year, even with him slowing down, just because he's that good at what he does. So
yeah. Well, Garrett, I agree, and that is all the time we have in this live stream. My final question for you is, where can all the people find your content and some of the stuff that you're working on?
Sure. So I work on the KC Sports Report official channel. A lot of my shorts and stuff you'll see on here. I do a lot of just different draft coverage of players and all that. I also have a TikTok, which is G Bayside. Just do a couple fun edits over there. I really haven't worked on it in a little bit, but I really like using that as well. But yeah, check us out on the channel, and check me out on TikTok whenever you have the time.
I was gonna say, definitely check out the shorts that Garrett's pushing out. The Carnell Tate one, that one's gonna get a lot of traction, and for good reason. And check out the intro of every single video, because Garrett created that. Like I said, insane editor, and he's putting out a lot of good work. So go check that out. Go check out the website, kcsportsreport.com. We're revamping that as well. And we'll do another mock draft next week, because as we get closer to the NFL draft, the scenarios keep changing, especially because the Chiefs just keep making moves. So that's all we have for this live stream. I appreciate you guys for watching. And as always, go Chiefs.